In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to perform a routine inspection on your car. You should do these inspections at least once a month, if not every 2 weeks, and it takes less than 5 minutes. First thing you want to do is pop your hood. Hood latch is usually located under the driver's side dashboard. Mine is right here. Pull that. So I'm going to be showing you how to check your fluids, how to top off fluids, and how to make sure you're putting the correct fluid in the correct location. Some people may look under the hood and feel intimidated because they don't know what they're looking at. But I can assure you that as long as you pay attention and you put things in the correct place, it's pretty simple and there's really not a way to mess up. So this right here is your coolant reservoir. And you know that by looking at the top. It usually has a pressure rating. You see that's 21 PSI. That tells you that this coolant reservoir gets up to 21 PSI when the engine is hot and coolant is flowing through the system. So to check your coolant level, on the side of the coolant reservoir, there's usually a min and max level, telling you that the lowest you want the coolant to be will be at this line, the minimum line, and the highest you want the coolant to be is at the maximum line. You never want to fill the coolant reservoir completely up because it needs room in order to circulate the coolant through the system. You never want to open this top whenever the engine is hot. That means that the system is pressurized and it will send hot coolant spraying out and it could burn you. My coolant is at the minimum line, so I'm gonna add a little bit of coolant and to show you exactly where you should put it. And also, my coolant reservoir is cool, it's not hot, so I'm okay to open it. So another thing about your coolant, people commonly refer to coolant as water, and I want to make it clear that you never want to put water in your cooling system. Water boils, it evaporates, and then you have air gaps in your cooling system, so you only want to put coolant in your cooling system. You also want to make sure that you're putting the correct fluid in your car. This car is a 2014 Ford Fiesta, and I have 50/50 Prestone Max coolant ready to use, and it's for Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury. So this coolant is correct. Since I've added some coolant, you can see that my coolant level is up to the max line. This right here is your oil cap. This is where you put the oil. You identify the oil cap by, usually it has an oil symbol, and also it has a viscosity rating. And viscosity just means the weight of the oil. This right here is your oil dipstick. I'm gonna show you how to check your oil level. So when you initially pull out the dipstick, you want to wipe it off using a rag, but I have gloves on, so I'm just gonna wipe it off with my hand. And if you look closely, you can see these two indents that show you the minimum oil level and the maximum oil level. And as long as the oil is sitting in between these two indents, your oil level is okay. So you want to reinsert it, then pull it back out and look at the oil level. And if you look right here, you can see that the oil level is right at the max. And also the oil color is kind of brownish, but not very dark. That oil is okay. Also, if you want to, you can smell the oil. If it smells burnt, then it's time for an oil change. Now coming to this side of the engine, you have your air box, which is where the air filter goes. You want to make sure your air filter is clean so that you have clean air flowing into the engine. Your battery Everybody knows what a battery is. You want to check the terminal post. As you can see right here, I have a little bit of acid buildup. So I want to get that cleaned off. Give it a little wiggle. Make sure that the terminal isn't loose. You have your washer fluid reservoir. You know that by the windshield and the fluid that's spraying up. This is where you put your washer fluid. We're gonna add some so that I can show you. Once again, same with all fluids. You wanna make sure that you're putting the correct fluid in the correct location. And also you don't want to add water into your washer fluid also, because when it's cold or freezing out, then that water will freeze and it expands and it will crack your washer fluid reservoir. And then it will not hold fluid. You will need to have it replaced. That's it, didn't take much. This right here is your brake fluid reservoir. You know that by, again, reading the top. This brake system only takes .4 brake fluid. You always want to put the correct fluid in here again, because if you put the wrong fluid, it could corrode the lines. It'll just be a bad day. So you don't want to top your brake fluid off. The level of your brake fluid basically points out signs of what's going on with your brake system. You do want to look at, however, the quality of the fluid. This fluid is a little dark, so a brake fluid flush could be used. Now, when your brake fluid is low, that could indicate that you have low brake pads, and you will maybe need brake pads replaced soon. If it is above, then that means someone has added brake fluid, which they shouldn't have, and you want to remove some with a turkey baster. And now I'm going to check the air filter. When looking at the air filter, you want to open up the fins and look in between to actually see the condition of the air filter. And this air filter does have a lot of dirt in between, and I would recommend that you replace it if it's dirty. You always want a clean air filter so you have clean air going to your engine. Now we're gonna check tire pressure, but before we do that, you want to open your driver door and look for a label for your tire information, and it has the PSI of front and rear tires. You can see that's 32 PSI. We're gonna start with the passenger front tire and work our way around. Pull out that hubcap. So if you look here, you see that's 32 PSI. And you can get one of these air gauges for about $5 at any auto parts store. That one was 31 PSI. This is also at 31 PSI. Which is at about 34 PSI. For this one, you can lightly tap on the valve stem and you can let a little bit of air out. Now we're at 31 PSI. They're all rated for 32 PSI, but give or take 2 PSI, and you're at a good level. Now last, we're gonna check our lights. High beam, low beam headlights. Also our turn signals, and brake lights, and reverse lights. brake. All 3 brakes work. Left, right, and your center brake light. Reverse. And you see both reverse lights came on. All right, park. Now hazards. And both turn signals work. So that's a quick instructional video for any DIY beginners in order to help you inspect your car regularly and routinely. Hope you liked the video. Leave a comment and like.